Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Legion of Chaos. This week, we're talking about the dumbest plot lines in anime.
Well, it looks like we're going to start strong with Redo of Healer and Boku no Pico, right?
Why did you bring the second one in here? Like,
we all know it. You might as well get him out of the way.
Tell you, I saw this image of Goku on Piccolo.
What? What?
And it was like Boku no Piccolo or something like that. But it was so hilarious.
Oh no.
So what is the plot? Because I've actually never seen that one.
Well, I don't even want to say it's bad, but Bobobo, it wasn't a bad plot line, but it was so confusing, it was nearly incomprehensible.
I mean, I'll be honest, Seven Deadly Sins doesn't have the best plot line either. Lots of plot holes, even though I love it.
I love Seven Deadly Sins.
I think the manga has a lot of decent plot, but then the anime cut out a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm coming more from the anime perspective. In contrast to the manga,
that's because they dropped the animation budget, which is a shame.
Bro,
basically, Netflix found out that another company offered to do the anime cheaper, like half the price cheaper.
Is that what
and
happened?
So they dropped the initial animation company and moved to the second one. It was like that's why the third season's so trash, is because they literally changed animation studios halfway through production.
And it's so disappointing because Meliodas versus Escanor was in that season. It was a fight I was waiting for like years. And then it didn't. And then it just I was like, fuck, this is bad.
You're like the whole reason I'm watching this.
Yeah, no.
The whole reason you're watching it is for Escanor and Bond. Let's all be realistic with ourselves.
Oh, bad.
Well, I was talking about him though for his fight. You're a fan.
Oh,
so you're ready for that scene, and
it didn't happen, unfortunately.
Bad plot lines though. Darling in the Franxx. Not.
Mate, you're starting it off with the mecha stuff. Ow.
I mean, just Darling in the Franxx because for instance, Gurren Lagann has an amazing plot. Code Geass obviously has an amazing plot, but Darling in the Franxx is I don't know, dinosaur girl with a bland protagonist. So whatever.
You know what? Okay, I got another one. Akame ga Kills plotline.
Yes, dude, I'm so happy you brought that up. I hate that anime.
Bro, I like the anime because Esdef's in it, but
I dropped it. I had to drop it.
I'm glad I'm the only one that liked it.
No, okay, so here's the thing. I was enjoying it, but I also knew where it was headed because everybody started dying, and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna happen to everybody, isn't it? And I never finished it because I knew where it was going. I didn't want to get attached to all these characters. I'm just going to lose my soul in the process.
It doesn't even give you that much character development for you to get that way, anyways.
Yeah, it's a good anime. So, I think the fight scenes are good. The animation is good. The scenes are good. It's just funny that everybody will argue Akame is the main character, and that's how you know they didn't watch the show.
It's Tatsumi. It's just called Akame got killed, but Tatsumi, we're seeing it through Tatsumi's eyes.
Exactly. Or oh man, did you guys ever watch the anime Dark Cat?
Black Cat?
No, Dark Cat. It's called Dark Cat. It's not Black Cat. It's called Dark Cat.
He knows what he's saying.
I only know Black Cat.
So it's about two brothers that turn into cats and then have to solve the mystery of a demon invasion. It is terrible. If you want to talk about worst plot lines in anime, the whole point is that they can't fix it because they're cats. It's the driving force of the show.
This is not their cats. Oh no. I don't know, maybe Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball doesn't really have that much of a plot. It's not carried by that.
As soon as you were talking about cats, I was like, and they can still beat Goku. In my head, that's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Bro, the funniest thing is that Dragon Ball frustrates me. I told you I read Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball frustrates me because it could be good. The initial manga was really good. But then Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, all that stuff, bro, it turned the show into Goku makes a problem. Goku go fix his problem he made.
I mean, I liked Z. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the best, but I enjoyed it.
You're one of the few people who like Z, John.
like okay, like yeah, I don't like anything after Z. It's like Z was all right. Like some characters were kind of interesting. Not Goku though. Goku's
Vegeta
not that
was. It was just Vegeta.
Yeah,
let's
like
be honest.
Vegeta.
Vegeta's like one of the most interesting characters. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Um,
He's a great character, but like,
Well,
I mean,
also Piccolo, but I mean Piccolo. Yeah.
I've seen one of you on TikTok before. Hold on. Let's see if I can find your account.
all right.
Are we
maybe
all
it was-
TikTokers?
yeah.
He's like, I see one of you guys.
I'm in the comics community. That's all I see on my TikTok now.
Oh,
so
okay.
No, I'm all One Piece. So like,
Bro, all
Oh, I
my
gotta
videos-
get out of here. No,
Dora,
just kidding.
I don't mean to be rude, but whenever I see a One Piece video, I hold the button and I click not interested.
Yeah.
Yay! I like this guy.
hey, I'm proud of my.
You know what?
content.
I want to go follow him.
I'm too
Madhouse
kind.
Comics. Yeah.
I see it.
I'm too kind to not to do that to Doron, even though 99% of his videos are One Piece.
No, 99%, try 100%. Let's be honest, bro. Let's call a spade a spade. Like it's I'm in that One Piece sphere.
Yeah. Like I usually just like it and then swipe down. Like I don't even bother watching it because I'm only like I'm
that
still.
doesn't help his engagement.
Yeah, in fact, that's
you have
worse.
to actually watch the video.
That's worse.
I
You're just a
mean-
fraud, Johnsky.
Yeah.
The worst mutual. Wow.
To be fair, okay,
cancel
let's
him
be
on his own
clear.
podcast.
I have a horrible attention span. Like I
Then,
might.
you know, next time, just mute it and just like do something else for a bit.
Exactly. That's all you have to do. Just let it play.
Yeah, fuck
Bro,
it.
sometimes I just like the action of swiping up, swiping down, and I'll just
You
do that
s-
super fast.
You get
savage,
like a little
Johnsky.
you have like one of those like OCD moments where you're just like
That's just bringing my
I can
engagement
do that,
down. It's
and like I
Johnsky.
mean, it's like look, I can do it, and I can see exactly what the video is about. I can catch every single detail within like half a second, and then swipe. Like I already like I can just do it really fast. I can see it. I don't need that much time to already know exactly what it's about.
He's killing our engagement.
I know
Just
he's
hate that.
messing up all of our videos. You know, I
don't do it to you. I don't do it to. I mostly just do it to Doron, and
That's
yeah.
not any better.
That's not even better.
Why am I
One
being-
Piece content.
You're from Canada, so I don't feel bad.
Wow, racist to the Canadian. I see it.
Yeah. You know what you did?
What? Drink maple syrup for like every morning? Like, come on.
That
ride
and Canadian
ride a polar
bacon.
bear every once in a while. Like,
Polar bear, the
Did you say
moose.
right?
Leave your doors unlocked? I don't
Yeah, of
know.
course.
Like
don't you have a polar bear? Like, they're pretty cool.
it's because
No,
Johnsky
I'm
wishes
from
Wolverine was
Texas.
American.
I don't. I mean, I kind of wish he was because I think
called
Wolverine's
it.
cool,
That's what's
but
up. You
I
just
mean,
want
he's
Wolverine
not-
to be American, so you're mad at
Yeah,
Canada.
come on, John.
Maybe, yeah.
Give more credit to Wolverine. He
I
went
mean,
to BC,
Wolverine.
bro.
Hold on, Wolverine fought for America in World War I and II.
And then he lived in peace in Canada because he understood that Canada was pretty
Pretty
meta.
chill.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Canada.
Canada's fun to snowboard in. That's all I have to say.
Actually, wait, didn't Weapon
It is.
was Weapon X in Canada or America?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't
I'm only here
remember.
for the
Like,
bad
here's the
Plotline.
problem: Weapon X has changed locations like 8 times, depending on who's telling the story. Who knows at this point?
Wait, so since we have Madhouse here, are we going to talk a little
Hold
bit
on.
about
Weapon X operated through Canada's Department K and was directed by Professor Andre Thornton. Okay, yeah, it was Canada. So, yeah, Canada's the same place.
That's your fault, DW.
That's Canada's fault for putting Wolverine through all of Weapon X. So fuck
You're welcome.
Canada.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, look at it like this. We made the movie happen because without Canada, there's no plot. There you go. Canada's the best plot in anime.
I mean, the one movie where it takes place in is X-Men Origins Wolverine. Just remember that.
That was
It's
the
like
best
went-
X-Men movie, though. What's your
No,
point?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like, it's just the so many
Canada
people.
back at it again. What can I say?
Representing.
Representing Canada.
Nice.
Yeah. So all that hate and despise you and Jacob give me over Canada, it's over now. It's nothing but love.
Well, I'm still here. Jacob will hop back on just to make fun of Canada.
All right. So so Johnsky, what's your least favorite anime plot line?
Oh yeah, what is yours?
That's actually hard. I'm trying to. I have to think about that. Let's see.
Well, for me, it's like almost every isekai anime that isn't original, which means most of them.
I feel called out.
Why?
Hey, I just said most of them, not all of them. Like Konosuba is fantastic.
And if anything, I'd say
A
Attack
lot
on
of them are,
Titan.
yeah.
I think Attack on Titan season 1 just made absolutely no fucking sense because like everything felt so fucking forced in season 1. It's like what the like the guy clearly had no idea what he was doing at the start.
You mean
It's like
war?
season one of Attack on Titan.
You mean when all the Titans eat everybody?
Yeah.
And they had really. I actually thought it was fun. I thought it was a great plot.
I mean, the fact that they kept going back in, even though and then they just kept getting eaten all over again, and they did a horrible fucking strategies of trying to go out and do expeditions. Like, look, I get you can't do all expeditions at nighttime. They could have explained that a little better. I understand why you don't do it at night because like you could easily still run into Titans, but still, it's like the fact that they did that shit and like they were so the fact that Levi was just a horrible and as a leader of planning this shit out. Like they all just improvised the shit on the spot and it was stupid.
Well, I'll actually challenge Attack on Titan being really bad. Even though I don't like Attack on Titan, I'll say
Look,
Yasuke
I'm not saying it's
is
really
terrible.
bad. I'm not saying it's really bad. I'm saying that season 1 sucked.
But
It's
you're
like
saying that is the worst plot line in anime.
Yes, like season one of Attack on Titan was the worst.
So not Boku no Pico, not Redo of
Not
Healer.
Healer.
Man,
Not
it's
Darling of
AOT, right?
What's
AOT.
what's your standard for this? Like, how are you rating this?
I mean, it's hard for me to find any anime that I think are stupid. Because I could probably only count like over a dozen anime that I've genuinely watched to completion to really say that like yeah that was stupid. Maybe you could say like the war arc of Naruto Shippuden because that did have a lot of. But Naruto, you said you don't even watch Naruto, Brady.
I hate Naruto. I already talked about this.
Based.
Hey
that's
yo,
a
I feel
based
targeted.
Yo, Kakashi's the best character in Naruto, but like, I mean,
Oh, you know it's funny. I was named Kakashi, and then when I was 11, Naruto came out. I was like, what?
what?
Yeah.
Wait, so you
Wait,
didn't get
how
your
old
name?
are you?
33.
That's okay. I'm actually I'm
34.
a little bit blown away. You got your name before Naruto even came out.
I know that's crazy.
Yeah, I felt targeted when that manga came out, and so I read through the entire thing.
It's an anime about me.
It'll have a special place in my heart, but I agree that it has some issues.
Next, you're gonna tell me your middle name is Naruto. Like, goddamn, bro.
I wish it's not. On the
still
terrible
trying to
plot lines, though, Yasuke, the Netflix series,
Yeah.
terrible. Bro, they went from like cool, like samurai historical anime to, all right, guys, we got mechs now. Good luck. Like, I feel like it was worse because they went from historical, drama with a lot of less technology to mechs in less than one episode.
So,
So they didn't even build on it. They just jumped to it. Did
They just
any
like
of y'all
threw
see
it in there. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of like more like raunchy anime have absolutely terrible plot line. Like it's like, and they're all copy paste too. It's like timid boy meets like socially like a social butterfly girl, and then they get together. Like that's a plot to it.
Yeah.
Then
like Psyche
yeah.
K also had a bad plotline.
Oh, dude,
Like, the show's funny.
I love Psyche.
The show's funny, dude. The show is funny as hell, but the plotline is bad.
Dude,
Like,
I think the show's hilarious. It doesn't need a plot line. It's just
yeah, exactly. It doesn't need one.
It
It's
doesn't
just
need
funny
it.
anyway.
yeah, I agree. Man, that's actually a really underrated show too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Man, what else is
Trying
there
to-
that has a bad plotline?
Psychon no Quasar, that has a terrible plot line.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched it, but like I do know of it.
How about Sword Art Online? Now that I think about it, that's probably
First season had a good plot. First
No,
season
that's
was
what I'm
good.
saying. The plot line for Sword Art Online is really good. It's just
Yeah.
Okay, but it's really poorly written though.
was
Like
the-
the plot line is good,
Mm.
but the whole thing I think the most irritating thing for me with Sword Art Online was the whole point about the dual wielding swords thing. When we literally, you can see it, you can read it, you can watch it or whatever, and there's people in the background dual wielding up until that chapter. Like, that's my issue with it. It's just a tiny nitpick detail.
I didn't even notice that. That's funny as hell. That's really funny. No, like I think the first season for Sword Art Online was good. I like that, you know, when they're actually in the castle or whatever. Then after that, with the elf stuff was whack. GGO, I mean, to be honest, I still enjoyed it. Like the whole Gun Gale was kind of whack. Still enjoyed it. But the most recent ones weren't that bad. They had a decent plot. So
I think Alicization might have been arguably the best one.
It
Isn't
actually
there a new movie or something coming out? Or
yeah,
something?
it's basically the original Sword Art Online, but from Austin's perspective, which is pretty cool. I'd be interested in that. Like the Alicization actually is pretty good though. I watched the first season and enjoyed it.
I'm gonna look at.
No, there are a lot of anime that just don't hit like the author intended, and so they end up being bad.
Yeah, I'm like
I think that is the main problem. I'm gonna say it. Okay, I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna call it out. Berserk's plotline is bad.
What? You're wild.
Think about it like this: Berserk only has one plot trope, though, like
what,
female body horror.
That's not what it is. That's not the plot.
That feels like it's the driving factor of the entire manga.
I completely disagree. I think that the driving factor is Guts trying to fight and defy fate, even though that he's struggling internally and externally against forces that are above his control. The whole thematic like plot of Berserk is fighting fate and struggling until you get to a better place. That's how I see it, at least.
No, and I can respect that, but I feel like that theme was lost in kind of like the whole mess of constant, driving or apparent horror themes that were presented through it. So while I agree that wasn't the intended theme, I feel like it almost got lost in the pages.
So I disagree with that, because what Mira was trying to do was convey a true and dark reality of the human condition, where we lived in times when these things were happening and that was the norm. Like, it's not to glorify it, it's to show a reality and the darkness that is persistent in humanity, and try to escape that darkness.
No, and I agree. I just think it got lost in the translation.
I guess it depends,
at least for
on
me.
It depends on person, because if you go to like most Berserk fans, the overwhelming percentage of them will agree with the stance that I'm taking, and they when it comes to like this message, it's like the theme of struggling against fate. That's also seems to be something that's been interpreted on a collective level. So, but still, it depends on who you are as a person, what your values are, because that's how you're going to interpret and define the story.
Is there two versions of Berserk?
There's the manga and the anime, because the anime didn't do a great job adapting it.
No, it did not.
And then there's Black Clover, which is shown in Berserk.
There's also hold on, what? Nah, Black Clover is more like it's like y'all see that like apple and orange video when he smashes them together. That's like, but he was doing that with Bleach and Naruto. That's what Black Clover is.
No, but I think what his name is it Yuki whatever his name is. I forget his name is, but he said that he got a lot of inspiration from Asta from Guts, and like the way he carries his sword and everything.
I know, and I agree with that. I just feel like the overall plot and how the plot was put together, the power system and the abilities really felt like it was just Bleach.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
If they were different and had jutsu. Speaking of terrible anime adaptations, though, did anybody watch Netflix's Ultraman?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Didn't bother.
Don't watch it.
It was bad.
It was bad. Like, it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad, but it was pretty mid. Like, first of all, it's already 3D animation. So, it's going to be kind of... But then when they got to the plot, they skipped like 90% of everything and just went to the fight scenes. So it was like, well, there goes the plot in its entirety.
Same thing with Record of Ragnarok. It was adapted so poorly. It was unfortunate because.
Well, here's the thing about Record of Ragnarok. I'll say this. It's just like, what is the one anime? It's got the mafia guy who ends up becoming a housewife.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So the author of that wanted it in a slideshow format, right? That's why it looks like it the way it does. Record of Ragnarok had the same issue where the author of the manga wanted it presented in a certain way, which is why it looks so bad. Like,
really?
Yeah, that's what I found out. Was like he wanted it to look like that, and I'm like, okay, that's fine.
That's a terrible idea. Like,
that's a terrible idea, but it's fine.
If we had like an explosive fight on the level of like Dragon Ball, or like even like Naruto to a certain extent, Boruto, like whatever you want to classify it as, like it had like a really explosive, nice fights like it should have, then it would have hit different.
I agree. I think it would have been so much better with like actual animation for the fights.
Yeah. Have you read Chainsaw Man? That actually has a pretty decent plot.
I have. Chainsaw Man's actually really good.
It is.
I'm
really
waiting
good.
for the anime to drop before I continue. I want to try to, because it's one of those animes I'm kind of off and or manga I'm kind of off and on. I don't read it consistently.
Really?
I'm waiting for the anime to drop, and I'm just gonna read it along with the anime instead.
Yeah, no,
Once the anime reaches the current chapter.
I'm trying to look up what's the worst plot point in Pokemon that you can think of. Well, that's what I'm trying to.
There's a difference between the anime of Pokemon and the manga of Pokemon. I'm talking about the Pokemon manga. That shit is straight fire. Like, I'm not even lying. Pokemon Adventure is insane. The thing with the anime is that there is no plot. There really isn't. It's just Ash becoming the Pokemon master and staying 10 years old for 20 years.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, what is even the plot for Pokemon? But I didn't even.
Well, like I'm trying to think of like what's a moment in Pokemon that you could genuinely say was just trash. Like we could get like when you're watching as
Ash
a kid.
not aging.
Yeah. Like,
Hey, but you know, South Park did a good job with that. Why couldn't Pokemon?
Because Ash keeps going to new places.
Yeah.
And he's being in every annual tournament and not aging.
And every year he goes to a new one.
Every year. Oh no.
I'm starting to think that humans evolve the same exact way that Pokemon do in that universe.
You know what? I know what the worst plotline episode is. There's an episode where Ash has a birthday, and he turns 11.
And then what? Did they go right back to
great
the
retcon.
Somebody said when he becomes a champion of Alon region.
Oh yeah. Also, why does Pikachu never get stronger? Like, he gets strong and then he just sucks.
Homie, look. It's called any versus battle will tell you it's called scan. Clearly it's scaling, bro. We're going to a different region, therefore the higher level cap.
Fair.
The real life Pokemon one recently, that movie that they made.
Oh, Detective Pikachu or whatever?
Yeah!
I thought that was alright. I enjoyed it.
It was so cute!
That was great. The stupidest part of Pokemon is that Ash refuses to evolve Pikachu. For no reason.
Yeah.
Like, even in the games, okay, so in the games, there's the possibility of, like, you can not evolve your Pokemon, which will sometimes give you a benefit, depending on what Pokemon it is.
Yeah.
But Pikachu doesn't have that ability in the games. He doesn't have the tag for it, so it makes no sense for him not to evolve Pikachu.
Well, in the manga, it made sense because his Pikachu could both fly and surf on water.
So
I'm not even joking. It could do
so he
both.
had some really goofy wrongs.
It could do both.
I mean, I guess a flying rat, bro.
It could literally do both. It was a freak nature.
The real question is: do normal Pikachu's act like rats, and like how like house rats do, or do they just like what do normal Pikachu's do?
I would like to imagine they're like, I don't know,
flying, surfing
hamsters?
rats out in the wild, bro.
Like
It's
hamsters or
terrifying.
Well, they're definitely not like Rattatas or anything, like those type of things.
Somebody's asking if we talked about the Naruto aliens yet.
Oh, thank God we haven't talked about yet. Yeah. Let's rip into it because it's terrible.
Bro,
What
I
a
don't.
terrible. You're good.
I didn't mind the Atsuki Suzuki, but like at the same time, they should have just kept Madara as the big villain and then dropped the alien. If they really wanted to drop the villains, drop them in Boruto. Like
That, yeah. No, that's why it was bad because it was just like it was out of nowhere. Madara dies to what's his face, the salad guy because I forget his name. Whatever, we're gonna call him the salad. Yeah, he dies to him, and which makes no sense because
talking about
Madara's
Zetsu.
Zetsu, thank you. I forgot his name. Like,
Zetsu?
how does Madara die by getting stabbed in the back by Zetsu? Isn't Madara supposed to be like this absolutely broken, overpowered guy? Like, it makes no sense.
Well, I think it was dumb because Kishimoto wrote himself into a corner with Madara and was talking about him all over the New York Expo. He was talking about him in every single Comic-Con interview. This guy's impossible to beat. He can't be killed. Blah, 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 blah. You know, all that stuff. And then all of a sudden he realized, oh, wait, I have to have Naruto win somehow. And so because he had hyped him up so much, I think that he really thought that, hey, the only way I have is to just remove him from the plot. Like, there's no way he can be the villain now. So he wrote himself into a corner and needed something to get out of it, which happened to be Kaguya.
I mean, he did, to be honest, I feel like he had another answer. Because you see Guy go like 8 gates on that guy, on Madara. And if he just, what he could have done is he could have just made it so Guy defeats Madara, but Guy dies in the process. And then you could have had everything with Naruto and Sasuke fighting done, finished, Naruto's finished.
I feel like that would have been disingenuous to how the manga had caught up though. Because if you think about it, when we were currently reading it, it was coming out. Guy barely touched the pages, and to have Guy beat the overall big bad guy of the series would almost feel like a cop out. You know what I'm saying?
Just chill.
I mean, maybe. I can see it.
Have you gotten banned off your live yet again?
No.
Is that to me?
I'm assuming you mean me.
Yep.
No.
Like, you're not showing on it, so I don't know. Maybe you just got banned.
Honestly, I'm still banned on live.
Are you? Why?
Batman fans, that's all I'm gonna say.
Really? That's so silly. That's why I don't go live on my main account, but I made a backup, so I go on live on that sometimes.
Well, I got banned.
I didn't know you.
Of a One Piece fan.
Oh damn. Wait,
I
remember that.
Donsky knows what I'm talking about though. We just get match reported by Batman fans if we say anything about Batman.
I mean,
they don't
that's
like.
every fandom's toxic. Like,
bro, no, I don't get how
fans, Naruto fans, Bleach fans don't go to that extent, but
look, I don't get how
One Piece fans do.
Yeah, they do.
I don't get how Kakashi.
Okay, first of all, I'm not a huge fan of Bleach. Like, it's one of my favorite animes, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Shout out to all y'all Bleach fans out there who are really chill, bro. Y'all been taking hate forever, and y'all just chill. I respect
Bleach fans only are on your ass when you say Aizen's not a great
cool,
villain, and that's because Aizen is unequivocally an amazing villain.
And that's because they're wrong.
Yeah, exactly, that's because they're wrong. Like, you can have an opinion, but your opinion can still be wrong.
You can have somebody clip that. You can have an opinion and just still be wrong.
Like when people say they don't like One Piece.
Hey, I'm so cool. I'm not a One Piece fan. I just don't vibe with Luffy. I don't vibe with Luffy, bro.
That's fine. I
will say Zoro is one of my favorite characters.
I just feel like if we can kill off any anime character of any anime, it'd be Luffy from One Piece.
No, Zenitsu. Fuck Zenitsu.
Yo,
Zenitsu's actually really well written character.
Yo, 2 great characters, and you just want to kill them off. Like,
I'd like to kill Goku.
I mean, sure, but I feel like I mean he would just.
It's fine. I'll let Rimuru.
That's too easy.
I'll let Rimuru do that. He's got Goku.
I'll say this though. You're a One Piece creator. I'll say this. I think
Yeah.
that Zoro should be the navigator, and they'd find the One Piece master. That's all I have to say.
Well, I do think Zoro will find the One Piece. It's gonna be like some, because that's actually a theory that Zoro has been always running in the direction of the One Piece.
He secretly knows where it is.
He's the compass.
Explains
I
why
hope
he
it's
keeps
true.
it.
Just like I hope Buggy becomes Pirate King.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Of
I
course,
want Pirate
Buggy.
King Shanks, but I
No,
I don't
Buggy supremacy. Motherfucking.
I'm a Shanks fan, bro.
I love Shanks too. I pretty much like every character in One Piece.
He's like anybody, whoever, because this is somebody goes.
Somebody, I don't care. Like, fucking, I don't know. Usopp can become Pirate King, and
DW out here just like in my waiting, like please, someone end it, which is crazy because JoJo has been going on longer than One Piece has.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't feel like like a
Really?
drag.
it's longer too. Actually, like if you do
Yeah.
the chapter and page counts, it's longer. JoJo's.
Significantly
Really?
longer. Which is
Yeah,
crazy.
it is. It actually is. It's also peak fiction, so I'm not surprised. I mean, JoJo's was in the Louvre. No other manga art has ever been in the Louvre before, so that's a huge flex.
Yeah, tell that to people who don't like the art style. Well,
Yeah, no,
where's
it-
the loop?
It was in the Louvre, so it must mean it's pretty damn good. Like I don't know.
Oh, you,
I am a JoJo fan too, though. If you didn't know.
I like JoJo.
still haven't watched it yet because that was part of the agreement. Because it was part of that deal with one of my
What
friends.
deal?
Oh, so one of my friends in real life and I have a deal where like
Yeah, he said real life.
Hold on, back up. You
Yeah.
have friends in real life?
This story is already flawed.
Yes.
I know. Doesn't sound right.
Doesn't sound right. I don't even know if you guys have friends in real life.
Nope.
Hey, I have a twin brother. Automatically have a friend. What are you
Oh,
talking about?
I love that.
Thank you.
Technically,
I have a
one
dog.
You have a dog and 3 wolf dogs, and you won't even show us the fucking wolf dogs.
I'm so jealous. My landlord does not allow pets.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah. Little does he know, I have a pet rock. So who's really?
Well, if it makes it make more sense, he's a friend I've known since I was 8.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
And like we have a deal. We had
Damn.
a deal where I will watch JoJo's once he watches Naruto, and he's just started watching Naruto after finally finishing through. No, she does not. She does not have friends.
Wow.
You clearly do not have friends.
That's cute.
John's just an absolute savage today.
Ugh. I've just been chilling and just fucking around and having to withdraw from a class because I was gonna get a fucking F in that class that I stayed.
I mean, honestly, you took the W.
It's
I
been
take it
there.
up. I take the W.
been there.
I'd take the W as well.
Me too.
I mean, W for withdrawal. That's literally what it's shown.
Yeah,
what it goes as.
exactly. I mean,
Well, at any time, you take a W over an F. There's no
Hey,
reason. to
yeah,
ever
that's
take
what
an
I'm
F.
saying. Like, you have that option. You know,
Look,
it's
the-
better
the-
to do that than.
the real W is being done university. So
True.
I'm already on the other side, Johnsky. I'm waiting for you.
We're all waiting for you, John. No
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah.
No, a lot of pressure.
Well,
Pressure makes diamonds.
I mean, I have my associates. I'm just finishing up the bachelor's.
Yeah, it's
Like-
okay.
that's even better.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, no. So he finally started watching Naruto. So, but I was intending to watch JoJo's with Jacob on a watch along for this podcast at whatever fucking day. But now Jacob is on a hiatus, so that's gonna be a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, it'll probably be a couple weeks.
Even those elf
It's
ears.
so what?
The
The
Elf
elf ears.
What does mint mean?
Mint.
Wow.
It means like
Like fresh.
yeah, fresh. It's like a
Oh, yeah.
it's a Canadian slang. So maybe this guy's Canadian.
Ugh,
Telling you it's
Canada.
fat swagger. I don't know.
That.
Cool.
Thanks. Thank you.
Now,
dude.
just imagine what will be a longer hiatus: Jacob's return or Hunter x Hunter's return?
No, we're not doing that today.
Why
Sit
you not?
down. Why you go
Why-
there?
I'm already
All right.
upset about one thing. Don't bring.
Wait, can
like,
we
come
talk
on.
about how Hunter x Hunter was trending?
Yeah, like this is about the dumbest plot
Wait,
lines.
Hunter
This is
Hunter-
about the dumbest anime plot lines. How about the one big plot line that is waiting for Hunter x Hunter to come back?
Wait, Hunter x Hunter was trending on Twitter. That's amazing.
Yeah. It was
That's
trending on
crazy.
Twitter. Everybody was
Hunter
talking
x
about how
Hunter
they love it, and they missed
Yeah,
it.
because you know what? I see nothing but hate on Hunter x Hunter on TikTok, and it's absolutely ludicrous because I love Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter's great.
It
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I
insane.
don't-
I want the
just don't
Hisoka
tell-
versus adult gunfight.
Me too. Gon is one of my favorite MCs. I love Gon. He's great.
Just don't
I
tell
just-
us
Better,
Jacob.
Luffy.
I mean, I had they're like neck and neck on my list, but like they're interchangeable in position. They're different characters.
I just entered the Hunter x Hunter fandom and found out that there's so much hate for it. I really
Yeah.
don't
They're,
like
they're,
it.
they're, they're either cringe as hell, straight up like paladins for Hunter x Hunter, or they hate it. It's
Yeah,
And then what
insane.
pisses me off is like when people like compare other animes, like all animes copy each other, kind of, especially the newer ones. So why does it matter?
Well, Hunter x Hunter came
If they
before
do
all.
a good job, like
Hunter x Hunter came before all the shonen. Like it was originally written in 1990 something, and then it had a 1999 adaptation, and then it had 2011 re-adaptation to it. So like a lot of Naruto is inspired from Hunter x Hunter. The shooting exams was copied from the Hunter exam.
Yeah. I think the Hunter exams are actually much better than the Chunin exams
I
because
mean,
they
I
did,
disagree, but
no, the Hunter exams you got to think about it. It's like they test each
The Hunter exams
contestant
was just Hisoka. I don't know what you mean.
yeah, no,
was awesome.
I like the Hunter exam, but I like the shooting exams way more because
I think
Yeah,
they
I
had a
think-
lot more stress in them,
I
and the
think
fact that
the-
Orochimaru
nah.
showed up.
yeah, there's so
I think the Hunter exams by themselves offered a lot more. Like it tested each person on more than just like on many different aspects compared to the tuning exams. Where like it's like I think toxic fans will ruin. Yes, they will.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Not to cut you off, but cooking a chicken is not necessary for being a
Well,
hunter.
no.
Yeah,
You gotta
John,
understand.
every-
You gotta no. You gotta understand the context of why that's there. It's there because it's demonstrating how you can apply your skills in
It's
hunting
demonstrating how
onto
to cook
something
a chicken.
else.
It's
No,
demonstrating how to cook
you're
a chicken.
utilizing your skills in new ways. It's
Hey.
versatility,
Yo,
being able
yo,
to use these
Yo,
skills
Johnsky,
you
all I'm
already
gonna say
have
is like
and apply
I've
them in
learned how
different
to
aspects.
I learned how to cook a chicken through other means other than Hunter x Hunter. I don't know about you,
Bro,
buddy, but
Stop.
I already
No.
I already
There
told
was a
you.
reason it was there. It was supposed to show versatility that you can apply the skills you have to other things like cooking.
fucking versatility. Johnsky,
Yeah,
I already
that's-
told you how I applied that concept in the shooting exams where they were doing that whole test situation, which is all strategy and gathering intel. I actually applied that to a real life situation in high school where I went through an entire semester of a
You act like
class.
you don't like you say that like you don't have
No,
to
it
cook.
was the biggest off of my high school career, and I will never forget it because it was so awesome.
Have you
Every test, 100%. Didn't
Bro.
study for a single bit
No,
of it.
the show
I just
is
cheated
called-
and it worked.
The show is called Hunter x Hunter for a reason. You're supposed to be a hunter. It makes perfect sense. They apply the hunting skills to hunt for an animal, cook it up, and eat it. That's like
It's like
It's
after
co-
the Hunter x Hunter exam, they just randomly will throw in, oh, they use a Hunter database. Oh, they have this.
Bro, my favorite part about the Hunter x Hunter series is that they
Don't
let
understand the
Hisoka
show.
back into the freaking Hunter exam.
It was
Like,
awesome.
Did y'all hear it? Bro killed an instructor.
Oh,
in
it's
the
because
last Hunter
that's
exam.
what I like about Hunter x Hunter. Morality doesn't mean shit. Like you
that's
can
what I
be-
like.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I'm
can
saying.
be,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
can be
It's-
the worst person in the world and still be a hunter because being a hunter just means being a predator to somebody who is the prey, regardless of what
Yeah.
your prey is. So
Or
anybody-
even if you're not a predator, like there's archaeological hunting teams as
yeah,
well.
no, but
And
even
it's
then,
like-
you're still the thing you're finding, the thing you're searching out. That's technically your prey. So it disregards the means to get there. It's just the outcome that matters.
No, and I like that. But what
Me
I think
too.
is silly is that he killed an instructor during the exam. But it's not that they let him back in that confuses me. It's the fact that they didn't like. I think it's just weird that they didn't like let him continue with the exam because it's not technically against the rules.
I
Like, if
mean,
that makes
I
sense.
think it is because you're interfering with the exam.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't interfere with the exam. Like the instructor still has to instruct.
Yeah.
And like they kind of do demonstrate that in when you see it in Hunter x Hunter is because he shoves cards into the instructor plus the impersonator to demonstrate that like to determine who's the real one because he knew that all instructors are hunters are formally trained and hunters who have their own license.
So they'd be able to catch the card, yes.
Yeah, so they'd be able to, yeah. But he was warned that if he ever tried that shit again, then yeah, he would be expelled from that shit. I mean, look, I think the Hunter exams were great and as I said, I think the cooking one, people sleep on it way too much because the point was that it's not something they're used to doing, but it still requires these hunting skills applied in the means of making food. It's like
Johnson's talking about cooking when we could be talking about York New, the Chimera Ant arc. Like,
Okay, hold on.
No,
I'm gonna say
before
this.
all
I think
this-
that Karapika was straight cold during the
oh yeah,
York New arc. Bro brought a shovel to the fight because he already knew he was gonna win.
dude. So
But-
the thing is, people don't know that though. People think, oh, he conjured a shovel. Nah, the guy brought a physical shovel to the fight and got rid of it after. He was that confident he was gonna beat the strongest spider.
To be fair, when his eyes, like, he gets 100% in every single
Yeah.
entry. That's
It was
stupid as
cool.
shit.
Dude,
But
I
like,
love it.
okay, at the same time though, I'm gonna say York New was like, I don't want to call it mid, but I want to say it was pretty mediocre in comparison to the other arcs in the anime. Like York New just didn't hit it.
Really, it hit
which
for
was
me.
insane.
For
I gotta
me,
say,
like,
Greed
my-
Island and Chimera were pretty good. I'm waiting for the end of. I'm waiting for Dark Island as everybody else
Yeah.
is.
For me with Hunter x Hunter, like my I think one of my favorite moments in the entirety of Hunter x Hunter is actually Crollo's Requiem, and that's because Crollo is my favorite character in the series.
Discount Jing.
But the Chimera Ant arc is just, for me, it's a masterpiece. Like there isn't a shonen arc that even comes close to this, with the exception of maybe the Shibuya incident arc from Jujutsu Kaisen, the Gun Devil arc from what's it called again? Shit, I forgot the name of it. Gun Devil arc from Chainsaw Man, and some One Piece arcs and whatnot. Like it's
Are we
just
talking about the
so-
manga version or are we talking about the anime version? Because the anime version of Chimera Ant arc, I hate to say it, but it was too long.
Anime version, I loved every minute of it. There wasn't a single thing about it that I did not like. Everything about it, to me, every moment, the building up of the arc, the conclusion, the characters, the themes, everything about that arc hit for me in spades.
And that's understandable. I think
Wait,
that
what
the
the
music,
fuck?
they needed to change the music at some point. Because, like, bro, I can't hear da-da-da-dun over and
Oh.
over for 40 minutes straight. It's impossible. And then they do it again the next episode. And it's like, how
Too
long
many.
is this going to go? Like, I feel like maybe it's just the score that was irritating me, but it just felt so long.
I
Because
got
the
it,
fact
I got
that it just has a
Wait, what?
repetitive factor to it.
That's fine. That's completely
Yeah.
fine too. But yeah, I know. I personally, like, for me, I personally just loved it. But,
Glad you mentioned that because we were going on the same background music for 40 minutes. I'm like, yeah. Although Jacob hates the
I wasn't
Jacob
gonna
hates
say
the current one.
anything, but
Well, I felt like that was sort of like you were like throwing shade at my music choice because
I like the
Yeah,
no, I like
F you,
the
John.
music before. It was good. But
I mean, I
yeah,
prefer I prefer this one, but Jacob hates it, so I was gonna. There's also there's this. I don't really get this.
you play like actual music too. Like that's nothing.
I'll have to play it on my. That will require me to take this.
No, I think Hunter x Hunter was brilliant. I disagree that it's like the father of shonen. I think
It's
that
not.
Fist of the North Star is that.
yes, yeah, oh, 100%.
But I definitely think that it did a whole lot. But I have to say, Fist of the North Star is arguably the father of shonen in
Oh,
general.
it not only is it arguably the father shown it is. It inspired JoJo's and inspired like literally everything that came after it.
Dragon Ball, it
Dragon
inspired
Ball,
Hunter x Hunter, it inspired
It's
what else?
it goes like this. It's like, Fist of the North Star inspired JoJo's and Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball inspired the big three. Hunter x Hunter inspired the big three. Bleach inspired what we have now. Like, it's all a ripple effect, you know? You can't disregard one without giving appreciation for the other.
Can you guys
No,
hear
and I agree. I will say though, Berserk fans a little bit wild and with all the arguments about what's a Berserk reference and what's not.
No, I don't give a shit. Like, I just like I just think Berserk is a great manga, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's like my number 4, number 3 favorite.
Like Hunter x Hunter will end up unfinished like Berserk. Zachary, just so you know, Tagashi's wife said that if Tagashi is declared unable to complete the series, she will write it.
She was
and
the
if you don't know,
author
she wrote
of
Sailor Moon. Yes,
Yep.
she wrote Sailor Moon. So you know it will be decent if she writes it.
And well, she's been with Tagashi for years. She knows him, and it's like Tagashi will be there supervising everything. She'll just be drawing.
This is for you, Kakashi.
Oh god, this is so loud.
He knows I hate Nickelback.
It's just trash. It's just really bad music.
I'm just hearing really, really bad music, bro. I didn't know I was gonna listen to Discount Theory of a Dead Man.
Does Johnsky unironically listen to Nickelback?
Yes.
Yeah.
Johnsky, you unironically listen to Nickelback?
It's pretty good.
You need help,
Hang up
Johnsky.
your camera and leave.
You realize
Hold on.
that you might have the worst music taste I've ever encountered?
Bro, no. It's not like I love music on top of Nickelback. It's not like Nickelback. It's like I could like everything else that's good. Add Nickelback to that, and you're like, oh yeah, horrible taste. But no, you guys are just
Johnson, if everything's good, nothing is good.
Everything's good. No, there are some things that are bad. Some things I won't utter, like Train, fuck Train.
Huh?
Oh no,
Look, man, I say your taste is questionable.
Yeah.
No, Asos this year's dog shit. That's.
I'll say what had a really bad plot. This is going to be really controversial to people. Vox Machina has a bad plot.
I've heard that name before. Let me look this up.
Could be because I'm a professional D&D player, but I did not like Vox Machina at all.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I really want to play D&D. It looks like so much.
Well,
fun.
I'll tell you what. If you got
really
TikTok,
learn how to play too.
follow me. I'll follow you, whatever. Or if you have Discord, you can reach out to me at Kakashi the Ranger 4914. I'll get you into a D&D game, man. I'll find y'all a D&D game, and if I can't, I'll run it myself.
Okay, wait, what is your TikTok? Kakashi what?
There we go.
Madhouse Comics, believe it or not.
Is this too loud?
Yeah, it's way too loud.
That is a good song.
We can't even hear you.
Gurenge is a good song.
Wait, what's your TikTok?
It's Madhouse Comics.
Madhouse. All right, I see you.
Better?
Me and my
It's
1,000 followers.
better, but it
I
sounds,
don't know if you know who Comics Related is.
I just give you a follow.
it's better, but it
Okay.
sounds like
No, let
crap.
me get you. I don't know if you know who Comics Related is.
No,
But he harassed
I-
me into getting a TikTok.
My volume is
like,
directly
getting-
linked. Fuck.
Mhm.
See, I don't have this platform because I don't stream. Where are you? Am I on the wrong account?
Yeah, I can't do that shit.
My TikTok's not registering.
Mine's Durun's World.
Oh yeah, let me find you.
Fuck.
There you are.
No, you can't hear anything.
Yeah, I can't hear
There you go.
shit.
I dropped you a follow. I'm gonna see if it doesn't register as a mutual. But yeah, dude, I'll get you into D&D 5e.
Yeah, that'd be
I refuse to run 3.5e anymore because it's just a clusterfuck.
I
But
just want to
it's-
learn how to play.
Yeah, it
don't know,
just
can I
seems
say
like
fuck
a lot
here?
of fun. Like something I'd be really interested in.
it's a lot of fun. What I'll say is this: the brilliance of the game is that if you know how to manipulate probability, you can do anything. So it's a lot of like, it's not necessarily math, but it's a lot of knowing how your abilities
yeah,
synergize with other things.
So here's the thing. I've actually watched quite a bit of D&D because one thing I do watch is a One Piece D&D, and like,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah,
that's
no,
crazy.
I'll be honest.
It sounds cool, honestly.
It actually is bonkers. It's probably the best format for a D&D because again, like most formats for D&D, it's just you're in a fantasy setting, and that's cool and stuff. But the One Piece D&D adds this like element of unpredictability because it's never really been done before.
Mhm.
I've also seen like Pokemon D&Ds, which seem pretty interesting too. I think
Yes.
stuff like that. Naruto
Yeah.
D&D, I think wouldn't be too bad either.
Not
So,
so.
I guess I had to understand the game on how you can use it with other.
So
Yeah, I
it's
have no
not that
idea
you
how to
can
make
use
it.
it with other systems. Today, you could write things to be used with other
Yeah.
systems. So, for example, if I wanted to write in hockey, right, I'm using the basic game rules, but I'm applying
Yeah.
hockey to the system itself. It's a little bit difficult to explain here, but like basically my rules are a 1d20, right? Plus X, which is your skill modifier, equals whatever you get out for your how well you did something, right? And that's just the base rule of D&D. So when you can apply that to any setting, right? If Luffy wants to track down Whitebeard for some reason, I don't know why he'd be trying to track down Whitebeard or Blackbeard. He'd just get demolished. But let's just say he wants to do that. Luffy would roll a survival check for tracking,
Yeah.
right? And that's what
Or like
that's what
or
Luffy would do.
perception check. Like you can check out your surroundings using perception. You like let's say you're in a battle, you can do like an acrobatics like check or whatever, and do some like crazy movement. Like, but it also depends on your character. You know, there's different classes. So
What they're good
obviously-
at, exactly.
Yeah, it depends like what you're good at exactly.
So, what my favorite thing about D&D is everybody can do everything, or they can try to do everything.
What makes
But
One Piece D&D
it depends
cool,
on how
though,
good
is-
you are at that thing.
Yeah, what makes One Piece D&D really cool though is the manipulation of devil fruits.
Oh yeah,
Now-
I've heard there's some crazy devil fruits. I'm gonna pull up and
Yeah.
see. Oh, One Piece D&D has a whole
Man, this is actually interesting.
fandom page. What? The
Yeah.
hell?
Because these guys have actually like it's like a bunch of YouTubers who like stream One Piece D&D. It's actually become like its own thing where they got quite a large viewership and people actually fuck with it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Okay, so they have an inflated gold system.
I'm still trying to.
Oh yeah,
totally
zones would
understand
be
anything.
really, really, really strong at D&D.
Yeah, they are
for the
They
polymorph
are.
ability.
because you get with as a zone you get like the extra health as well. You know.
Okay, so you're a D&D fan, or not D&D and a One Piece fan. I gotta ask this because I've always been confused. Maybe it's because the way I read it, the manga had already been out for a while. But maybe it's because the way I've read it. But why is it that Logia users seemed unbeatable at first, and then all of a sudden they're like everywhere?
So
Like they
It's-
seem
again-
so
again,
rare, and then all of a sudden they
it's-
show down.
So the thing is that they are rare. It's just that we're on the Grand Line, and the Grand Line has like the largest abundance of Delafruit users in one area. But if you went to like the North Blue, East Blue, like all these other areas, it's extremely uncommon, as well as in just like distinct countries. So it's just because they're pirates, and an easy way to get power is to get a Delafruit. Now the thing is that the reason why Logia Delafruits seemed really powerful in the beginning is because nobody really knows what hockey is, especially if you're like Luffy, just jumping into an adventure, you know, pretty naive to the circumstance. You're not going to know what these extra abilities that all these other people have. So you come across Logia fruit, yeah, it's gonna seem overpowered. But if you're a Marine and you're training every day, honing your hockey and whatnot, because a lot of Marines do have hockey. I think it's like every Marine vice admiral has a hockey. Every Marine captain can use hockey. Then like it's a bit of a different story because they're trained to that. But even then, like those are higher classification of Marines, so it's not going to be everybody who's going to be able to do that.
It's just because they're at the Grand Line. It's the people around them, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And as things get more intense, like you go to a more like serious environment, especially in the New World, where things are a lot more intense. Like so are the powers. The stronger pirates are those who've gotten the better Delafruits, those who've trained and honed their hockey to a certain extent.
So I got to ask you this then: do you think that Shanks uses his conquest hockey in his weapon?
Oh, without a doubt. It's like no question. I think Shanks probably has some of the best hockey on the verse. It's just because why I think that is because he became a Yonko with one arm, and he has the smallest crew out of every Yonko, and it's little, and he still has a really considerable high bounty, and he's a younger pirate, so.
I think it's interesting that he has the smallest crew because it's almost like I don't want to say Shanks is smarter than the other Yonko, but I think I think that there's a point where he's picked his crew to be super specialized, so that they have very set positions.
Wait, if we're gonna talk about bad plot lines, should we bring up the warship arc?
Hold on 1 second. Before we do that, I just want to say this one thing. Shanks has one of the smartest people in One Piece on his crew. Ben
Yeah.
Beckman. Ben Beckman is the strongest person or smartest person to come out of the East Blue. But anyways, we can get okay. What's the what arc? John,
The argument
The warship arc.
from what?
Yeah, jump.
I'm trying to think, I'm looking at the worst parts of One Piece because there's a bunch of fucking horrible arcs. It's and I'm not sure. I don't remember which island arc was the worst.
I'm gonna Google that and see who's talking about that.
I
Okay,
disagree.
Long Ring Island being the worst arc. Okay.
That's fair. In my opinion, it is.
No,
the
I
worst
ain't
arc.
trusting this list. They put the Wano arc in there. Fuck that. Never mind.
Wano arc's one of the best arcs, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm skipping.
Yeah.
I'm skipping
Yeah.
that list.
No, so if you want to know what the worst arcs in One Piece are, probably Long Ring, Longland, Syrup Village, and
Orange Town.
Orangetown. It has a few gems though. That's the thing. But I would put Orangetown there too. But even then, this is what I say truthfully.
How about Dressrosa or
Dressrosa is one of the best arcs.
really?
I don't have an issue with Dressrosa.
The reason why people have an issue with Dressrosa is because of the anime. But if you read the manga, it's not bad at all. It's perfect.
How about Goat Island?
Goat Island.
That's what they name these arcs.
I don't know. Well, there is filler arcs as well. So
This is
I
a
think
filler
if someone
arc.
says Marine Ford, they're gonna have to go leave. That's all I'm gonna say.
it just means that okay, no, this is actually a thing that I found out with some people who watch One Piece. There will be people who will skip entire arcs just to get to certain events and then be like,
Marine
oh, what?
Ford.
No, but I've even seen people skip Water 7, Ennie's Lobby, some of the best arcs. And
Those
it's
are
what do you do?
the top 5 though. That's crazy.
I saw this one post earlier today where a guy said he really liked Ennie's Lobby, but because nobody died, he's like, I'm dropping One Piece. It's just not edgy enough for me.
Man.
Damn.
Well, I thought was crazy was that for One Piece, I don't mean to, it's not that hard to catch up to One Piece. You got you watch the first couple arcs, then you watch the first couple movies, and then you watch 2 more arcs, and you're entirely caught up. If you wanted to just watch the movies, you're already almost there. So I don't think the excuse that people throw is One Piece is so long. It's
maybe just read the manga. One manga chapter is 5 minutes. Maybe
it's 1,000 of them. It's not that, and it's 1,000 pages of chapters of manga. It's not that much.
It's honestly not that bad. I caught up I started watching One Piece in 2019. I caught up in 4 months. I was literally just all I was doing was
Not
I'll be
that
honest.
long. That's still a long time.
I mean it was, but
Yeah.
it didn't feel that long, and I enjoyed every bit of it. So it didn't matter.
I'm trying to think. If I'm gonna say, now that I'm thinking about it, because it is really hard to exactly come up with bad arcs. But how about the Sasuke rescue arc in Naruto? I feel like that was way
good though.
That was a great
it was
arc.
good. It was good, but I think it was out of place. It was a little bit too far. It was too rushed. Bro,
What are you talking about? It had some of the best fights in part 1.
Johnski,
It has some of the best
All the best fights. It came out of nowhere. It happened way too abruptly. It's Sasuke. We barely.
Johnski, what's your mic too? But,
I forgot to plug
Your
it.
mic is crackling, bro.
Johnski,
I know.
I gotta say,
Your mic is
these are some of the worst takes I've ever heard.
Here's the thing, bro.
My
The
sensitive
Sasuke
ear.
retrieval arc fleshes out Kiba. It fleshes out Shikamaru. It fleshes out.
Okay, is this working? Sorry, I had to plug it
But-
back.
much better.
Neji, Choji, these
No,
characters.
what
All
I'm
of
saying
Team
is that it
9,
happens
Team
too
7.
abruptly. It's we barely see any real chemistry between Naruto and Sasuke. It kind of just happens out of nowhere. We haven't gotten a lot.
But that's
It's
the point. That's the point, though,
No,
is
the
that they
chemistry-
don't have chemistry, and everybody is still willing to go after Sasuke. That's the
but
point.
the
I
other
feel like that kind of makes it a little bit weird because for Naruto to consider him a friend and shit like that. I get it. He cares about
But he
him. It's
doesn't.
just-
That's the thing. Shikamaru and all those people don't consider Naruto a friend. That's the
Yeah.
point. It doesn't matter that he's a friend of ours. He's from our village, so we're
Yeah.
gonna go after him.
And
It doesn't matter that
is,
he's an Uchiha. It
the
doesn't
thing
matter
is, yeah.
who he is.
But the thing is, you learn from Naruto and Sasuke through a shared backstory
Mhm.
that they did have that strong connection since they were kids because they shared a similar type of pain of loneliness that nobody else ever experienced. So it was a greater understanding of the situation. It wasn't. We didn't see like their relationship form like throughout the years, but through like the very first episodes of Naruto, we understand that these guys have known each other for a long time. They already have a predetermined relationship, and then it's just continuing to build upon that. And they've just continued to see each other as rivals, trying to best each other. So I didn't think the Sasuke or True arc was out of place. If anything, it was foreshadowed in the tuning exams that Sasuke is being absorbed into darkness because of his path towards revenge. And then there's the tipping point when he realizes that Naruto is outclassing him and just how much Naruto has grown and how much he feels like he's falling behind and he needs to catch up and become stronger. So
especially after Naruto beat Gaara when he couldn't.
Exactly. Right? That was for Sasuke, that was one of his greatest failures. And then he sees Itachi, and Itachi's there he's there to retrieve Naruto. He doesn't even give a shit about him.
I mean, I get, but I feel like it was just, I mean, it's just, I don't feel like we really developed, I think they needed to develop Sasuke more before having him leave. It just, to me, it felt just out, it felt abrupt.
Well, I'll say this though. I'll make this argument. Sasuke was always underdeveloped. That doesn't necessarily mean the arc itself was bad. It just means that Sasuke and man, I'm blanking on her name for no reason. Sasuke and Sakura were like the two most underdeveloped characters in the series. And that's not necessarily, it is bad, but it's not necessarily a bad qualification or a good argument for the arc itself.
Given the, I think the Sasuke running away is basically supposed to be the biggest plot point in Sasuke. So, I mean, well, also him killing Itachi, but like I think like really I feel like had they given him more development prior to him leaving, I think it would make a little bit more sense where you can at least where like sure his arc was underdeveloped, but I feel like if you were to better develop him in one spot, it would be prior to the rescue arc, like between.
For sure, but I'd also say this: the manga is in Naruto's perspective, and Naruto, for lack of a better word, is stupid. So he doesn't notice a lot of smaller innate details, and he never really bothers to like go and ask Sasuke what's wrong or like anything like that. So we don't get the opportunity to see what Sasuke is like as a person. Naruto's always trying to make friends with Sasuke, but he doesn't know how. Like, so it just ends up being a large rivalry of him trying to show off, to impress Sasuke, to make Sasuke like him, when that's not the way to talk to Sasuke, right? So he's approaching things with the wrong method, which is leading to the same result.
Well, yeah, I guess. Either way, it's more. I mean, yeah, like I think but I think the first series of Naruto was a little bit like rushed in too many aspects, because then we get that arc, and then we get filler hell for like a season, like for a year and a half after.
Filler's a Studio Period thing. I can't say anything about Studio Period. I find very few good things to say about them.
Like I think like the whole thing was like it's a combination of different factors. I think like the Chunin exams, I enjoyed them. I think they went on they consumed way too much of the series after a point. Like it was like realizing, like I think it came like the length it went on was just too much for like Kishimoto went through that arc, bit off way more than he could chew with the Chunin exams, and then realized after finishing it, oh shit, I have to wrap this up, even though like it didn't really seem like it was supposed to be. Like,
well, why did he have to write that up though? He was developing the series at the time. He could have done whatever he wanted.
I really disagree with your take.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue anymore, but I do have to say I disagree significantly. I still don't think Sasuke's a good written character, but I think that isn't the moment to pick on. I think if you were gonna pick on any moment, I would pick on Sasuke's reply. I wouldn't pick on.
You mean in Shippuden?
Shippuden. Sasuke's reply is when he talks to all of the Kage. I think it's like chapter 319 or something like that.
Yeah,
419, and he's sitting there, and the Kage tell him, "Well, Itachi did that to his own clan because they were interested in having complete and total power because their tablet said X and Y. And that's one of the biggest issues that people mess up is that the Uchiha weren't mistreated by the village
No, they weren't.
because people
I mean,
were racist.
they-
They were
like, they-
mistreated because they were the police. They were the leadership in
Yeah.
the village. They
Well, so
they
the
were
whole,
the authority figure.
The thing is, when it comes to the whole thing with the Uchiha versus the Leaf, it's like they were both wrong, and there was no right answer. So for when Itachi did what he had to do, he was essentially choosing the lesser of two evils that would lead to less conflict down the line, which he did, which was the right choice. Because if the Uchiha attacked the Leaf is now injured. Other villages can invade and harm everybody, and he loves the village. He did everything because he loved his village and didn't want to see everybody experience the things he saw at a young age. He experienced war. He saw firsthand the pain and strife it caused, and he never wanted other people to experience that. So if he could stop another war, he would become a monster to do that.
He wanted to do it. And here's the
Exactly.
crazy thing is Sasuke hears all of that. He hears everything that DW said. He says everything that I've said. And Sasuke goes, you know what? I'm going to take the throne of Kage by force. That's what I'm going to do. That's a great idea. I think that's the best course of action for the scenario. But that was his conclusion, is that he was going to go back to the Leaf and take the position of Kage by force.
Yeah.
I kind of missed a little bit of that. Like I kind of, when I watched it, I missed that he was saying that he was going to take it by force. I thought he just wanted to be Hokage, and that was like, because that seems more like a meme than anything, which is not like. But if he's just trying to take it by force, it's like, well, that seems pretty. That seems to.
It's in line with his character.
Yeah, it is, because his whole character is based off inconsistency. Because his whole life, he's never had any stability. He was always inconsistently being driven towards various things and various impulses that he was always searching for an answer, and he could never find a valid answer to latch onto.
Well, yeah, I think him, like how I initially interpreted it is he was just saying he wanted to be a Hokage, nothing about force. That seemed a little bit that made a lot more sense to me. Where it's like, okay,
think about it like this: the only person in charge at that time was Tsunade, and no offense to Tsunade, but at that point, Sasuke could have walked in and beat her ass and taken the office. Like there was nothing stopping Sasuke from doing that. He's one of the most powerful beings on the planet.
But I think it like lines up with it would line up more because of that, as I said, like because like he goes through this process, like he's angry, he's doing this, like this is still a journey to him, like he learns more and more about himself, about his family, about the Leaf Village as a whole. And that's kind of, it would make the most sense if like he's just peacefully deciding, you know what, I'm going to be Hokage, and people are like convinced, like have it with the mindset that maybe people will actually want him to be, and that not that he has to forcefully do that shit because he knows the truth about everything now. Which is a lot more than most other people, than 99% of people know about that are from the Leaf Village. It's like he has more knowledge on them. He knows the truth of everything. So obviously, like him having that knowledge would mean that he has a better chance of steering them in the right direction than people that are blind to all the shit that happened. But doing it by force is just okay. That seems a little bit counterintuitive.
I mean, look, that's yeah, you're not wrong.
Like I could find a much more as I said, I could find a much more interesting story point from him actually not wanting to take it by force, but expecting people to actually support him for that shit. And
yeah, but Sasuke didn't care. He was like, he
doesn't care about other people. That's like half of his character.
Yeah, he only cares about him. He's short-sighted. One of his biggest faults in his character, and not to say that it's badly written. It's good to have flaws within your character. It's that he was short-sighted with a lot of his undertakings. He always missed the forest before the trees, and now that always caused him to like lose sight of the things that actually mattered. You know, like with him and Itachi, like he, instead of seeing what Itachi did as something as a selfless act, he saw it as, no, the Leaf forced my brother to do something wrong, and now I need to get revenge on the Leaf.
Well, yeah, I mean, to an extent, he wouldn't necessarily be wrong there. It's just he took it way too much to an extreme.
Hold on, we've got a question that we've been sitting on. Thought on Data Live.
I've actually it's not bad. It's okay. Like I've watched the first 2 seasons. It was a bit through the 3rd season, kind of dropped it, but the 4th season's coming out. It's look, it's a harem anime. What is there to say? It's just a different version of one.
I can't say I was a fan of Data Live. I think it
Yeah,
was just kind of like it's just a harem anime.
It's
I don't
kind
know.
yeah, it's kind of. I'll be honest, it's kind of cringy. Like I
I
stopped
wouldn't say a
watching
lot
it
of,
because it got cringy. Like there's other things I'd rather watch, like or
Exactly.
read or whatever. Like
One
the
Piece.
Monogatari series.
Like as far as quote unquote romance comedy animes go, like you've got Love is War, which is
Love is
already
War-
better. Just
Love is
not
War
that.
is so good. Holy, it's in my top 10. I'm not gonna lie. I love Love is War.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the manga is so fucking
Oh,
good,
yeah.
especially when they get into like talking about Discord and shit and like fucking Apex Legends. Like that was ridiculous.
I'll say this: like Data Live, go watch Angel Beats instead. It'll be
Yo,
better spend
Angel
of your
Beats
time.
is so good.
It'll be a better spent time than
Dude,
Data Live.
Angel Beats hits. It hits. It's actually such a good anime.
My favorite part is the meme that people keep putting on the internet with like different music in the background where they're all jumping out the window.
Dude, I love that meme.
Actually, I just realized I got a question. I got a question for you guys. Have any of you guys seen the first Full Metal Alchemist series?
Hey,
Yes.
it sucked.
I wouldn't
I
say
mean,
it
it
sucked.
didn't
I think it went.
suck. It
I think
sucked.
it went harder than it needed to.
I think
it-
like I always think season 1 was pretty good. Like I think like how it was. I prefer that over season 1 of Brotherhood because it's like straight up from the manga. Whereas like there were
Brotherhood was straight up from the manga though.
So here's
well
the
they
thing.
had to they twisted it around a little bit.
Well,
here-
they
here's-
added the light novel material. That's
Yeah.
it.
So here, Johnsky, I'll tell you what they added into that wasn't in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There is this whole arc where there's this one guy who's like this dickhead, like runs this mine or whatever, and he's just terrorizing the people there.
Oh dang.
And Edward and Alphonse, you know, they stop his bullshit. They stop his bullshit reign. So that's like what they technically missed. And then everything else in FMAB is canon. But the thing is,
Well, that's
that
in the light novel though. That's the problem.
yeah. The thing is, in FMAB, they reference that situation, so you actually do understand a bit of what happened. The guy talks about how like Ed and Alice screwed him over. So I thought it was fine. Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest,
Yeah, okay,
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the definition of a perfect anime.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
entirely.
I will say this though: the original FMAB went a little bit too hard at the end. Do you remember
Yes.
the fur strangling his own son and then
Yes.
throwing him across?
Yeah,
the
that was
bro.
that's
That
what
was
I
out of pocket as shit for no reason, bro.
Dude, it was just
No reason.
like, I'm pretty sure
Dad, I
Alphonse-
brought you this from from your office. I thought you'd want it. Oh shit! We go in here. Oh no!
like it was more out of pocket than Elfen Lied, because if you read Elfen Lied, you know what to expect. You know that everybody's gonna get their head blown off or whatever. Like that's just the thing. But like in there, it's just like, nah, we're going to go balls to the walls. Like doesn't matter.
It was just out of pocket. Is all I have to say. FMAP had a lot of out of pocket things that did not need to be
Yeah,
done
I agree.
in
I
the
agree with
original
that
one.
too.
I will say the filler part, the quote unquote filler part with the Ice Alchemist for Full Metal. Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I actually
So good.
yeah, I
top
thought
tier.
even though it was filler, I thought it was a really good way to introduce us to the story.
I thought it was a great way to introduce us to the story, and then later on introduce us to the rest of the plot line with the Amestris,
Yeah,
rings,
I
because
agree.
it showed us that and that
I
allows
think I
us to
skipped
call
that
back to the
part.
beginning to better understand it.
Like, dude,
I feel-
I
might have
we're on the
skipped that
same
part.
wavelength here. I completely agree with you. I again, like I said, with FMAB, there isn't a single bad episode. Every episode just keeps getting better. The plot gets better. The characters get more like complex. It's all good. My only this is actually my one fault with. It's not even a fault. It's just my own personal opinion. With Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, there isn't like there's a bunch of great characters, but there was never a character that I could call out from that series and be like, yes, you're my favorite character of all time. There's only been a couple characters like Gintoki, Araragi, Ayana Koji, Luffy, obviously, but actually more Katakuri. Like these characters like them who I could like be like, yes, you're my favorite character of all time, but not in FMAB. It was never like that. Even though I
mean,
do like a lot of characters.
I'd say every single character was well fleshed out, but Colonel
Yeah.
Mustang
Oh, yeah.
is the best character.
He is the best
Oh
character.
yeah, 100%.
I agree with that.
But I feel like I kind of disagree. I think like I enjoy Edward Elric as a character. He's
Me
one
too.
of, he's in my
I-
top three
I-
for he's in my top three for anime
Wow,
MCs.
that's pretty high.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. It's not for me, but I respect the choice because he. Is
I
a good
like
character.
how Edward Elric, despite being the main character, wasn't the most powerful in the show.
Yeah,
Well,
me too.
That was one of the best
I love how like Roy Mustang was so overpowered in the show that like everyone, like the villains in the series had to like explicitly like depower. Like he had to like the plot. It's basically the
They did
plot
their best
itself.
to counsel him.
Like yeah, they had to like the plot. There needed to be reverse plot armor for him, where like the villains needed plot armor for that shit because that was just.
Yeah, and
Well, I
here's
mean-
the best part, though. I liked how going to Colonel Mustang for a minute and then bringing it back to Edward. I like how the anime showed through Colonel Mustang and other characters that there were things that were beyond Edward's ability, that were
Yeah.
beyond his control.
Oh yeah,
He may be a person that, yeah, he can cast alchemy without transmutation circles. He may be able to do things that other people can do, but everyone had something to bring to the table that was required to win.
Well,
right.
yeah, that was.
It wasn't
that
like
was,
the main character just got a power up and won, and that was what was brilliant.
That was the thing about the series is it shows that every single talent, that every single individual is only a supplement to their victory. And like at the end of the day, it's not one character deciding the entire outcome. And as you pointed out, like yeah, because like Edward Elric had his powers, but even then, like he's limited to however durable his arm and leg are. Well, especially his arm, because if his arm gets broken in the middle of fighting, he can no longer use alchemy because he needs both hands and shit like that. Like I think it's and like that's where Winry comes in. I think Winry was a pretty good character as well.
No, like I
Yeah.
said, like there's a bunch of really good characters in the show, but like, just like in terms of my favorite characters of all time, they didn't meet up.
I wouldn't say they wouldn't be in my top 10. I think Roy Mustang might be he'd
Not
try
even-
to push into the 10 list, but
Yeah.
he'd be very difficult to get to.
I would say Roy Mustang would definitely be in my top 50 anime characters, but maybe
I'd agree with that.
I think maybe
I feel like
No,
Hattie chosen not to use the Philosopher's Stone at the end. That could have made him like objective, like definitively one of the absolute best characters.
Well, I disagree because it was
Uh,
necessary.
it wasn't necessary.
Well,
No, I totally.
it was necessary, but I think like in a sense, like it would be like it was necessary
else should have
for the
used it?
context of the it was necessary for the context of the plot, but at the same time, Roy Mustang knowing what this means, like what the Philosopher's Stone means, what this means to like people like Edward and Alphonse who are entirely against it, who he knows would probably fucking hate him for using it.
Right, but think about it this way. Who better to use the stone than the soldier who's trying to redeem himself from killing hundreds
Well,
of
I'm not
thousands of
s-
people,
I'm not
who
saying-
wants to make those the souls that were killed worthwhile?
I'm not
Right.
saying give it to someone else. I'm just saying that they don't use it. Like I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
that, you have to understand, John, that's not realistic. Like sometimes you have to. Also
I mean, they just
understand-
pull. Yeah, they kind
You
of
have to
pull out the
understand
stone.
his militaristic ideology.
It
Mustang was-
exists.
Mustang
now
was the
use
type
it.
of Mustang was the type of person who understood that sometimes sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. So if he's
Yeah.
going to use those sacrifices for a better cause, then he will. And once again, that's a much more realistic answer than, I don't know, Deku becoming the best hero of all time. I'm sorry for using Deku.
Nah. Full flame on Deku. I don't
Yeah,
like it
okay,
either.
fantastic. It's like Deku is a moral Jesus type character who will always find the right answer no matter what. But it's much more realistic to understand that there aren't necessarily right or wrong answers. Sometimes you just do something that's necessary to happen.
I think to an extent, My Hero does do a fair job at showing that, where like you can see like in the sports festival, like his ideology, it does not mean shit at the end of the day because he still loses because like look,
ideology.
like he
Just
it shows the flaws in his system where it's like he could have this ideology that like look, you got to go in, like try to be the best, but at the same time realizing that you got to understand.
Well,
like-
the truth is, again, the thing is, his whole ideology there is he wants to save like Todoroki. The reason why I think Bakugo's a far more relatable character is because he's like, fuck that, I'm here to win, and that's how most people are going to be in a competition.
I think that.
I don't like
I think,
Bakugo either. I don't find Bakugo relatable.
I think
but agree
Bakugo-
in that arc,
I think his drive, his drive is much more natural than
I think his
I agree with that.
is the drive and like how he prefer, like how he see, like the way he perceives certain things, or like how he values certain aspects can be more are quite relatable. Like as you said, like I think to a lot of extent.
Real.
Like they're more real. You see how pissed he was from winning the sports festival because Todoroki didn't go all out. Like I feel like there's this aspect of pride there where like you can understand like knowing that your opponent held back on you and you won, but only like
Because
being
he
angry.
didn't actually win because
Yeah, like that. That's what I'm saying. Like when Bakugo was angry
because Todoroki's holding back was I can't kill you. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, Todoroki did.
With all due respect, Bakugo was trying to kill a lot of his opponents.
Yeah.
Bakugo is, he didn't understand what it really meant to be a hero. All he cared about was being strong. Didn't realize that being a hero also means saving people.
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, I mean, like, so Todoroki also didn't really. I don't think he used any of his fire abilities against Bakugo, and I think that was what made Bakugo upset, is that he's not using all of his power.
Well, yeah, and hear me out here. That's because Todoroki has physically witnessed and been a part of what can happen or the dangers of fire ability.
Yeah,
he knows as a person how deadly.
Well,
debilitating fire abilities could be.
His whole family situation.
No, I'm not saying Todoroki was wrong to do that. I mean, like, he didn't even really need fire. Like, what use would fire have in that fight when he's up against a guy who uses explosions? Like, I feel like the ice would be a far more like effective compared to.
No, it's not that. It's actually not what you think. It's because if he's just ice, then he cools. He can freeze himself. He can get cold.
Yeah.
If he's just fire, he can overheat. So the thing that's so overpowered about fire and ice is that he can maintain a balance and regulate his internal heat temperature. That's why.
No, what I'm saying is that it has nothing to do with why Todoroki didn't use his
It
fire.
does, though.
It's saying,
No,
what I'm saying is what I'm talking about is Bakugo being upset that Todoroki didn't do it. I'm not saying that Todoroki didn't.
He would be, because the thing is.
No, I'm saying he would be upset. I'm
Okay,
saying
yeah,
what
okay.
what I'm saying is that I'm not saying Todoroki had no reason to hold back. I'm saying that Bakugo was upset because he knew Todoroki was holding back, and that's like, so he didn't feel like he.
I don't think anybody's
won.
arguing that, though. I think we're talking about why Todoroki was holding back. Because
if you
remember, what's his name, Daki and Endeavor both have the issue of being unable.
Yeah.
So they have a limit where Todoroki doesn't actually have a limit.
Yeah, like Dobby is literally incinerating himself. Like that's the extent he's willing to go for. He doesn't care anymore. He's gonna burn his entire body if it means.
I'm not caught up on the manga, so I don't know if they've confirmed Dobby is Endeavor's missing son, but
it's more just speculating.
It's speculating, but but Endeavor explicitly states that his first son, had a fire quirk that was even more powerful than his own, but at the same time he received the mother's other half of her vulnerability to fire.
And that's the best plot line in anime.
Yeah. You have a power, but if you use it, you die.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on.
Do you guys want to call the podcast right now? We've been going for like an hour 20.
Yeah, I feel like
that's probably a good idea.
Covered enough. And I mean, look, I'm saying, like, what I'm trying to get with the Bakugo is that, like, I understand from the perspective of, like, especially in 1v1 debates, that community, I think there's a lot of toxic aspects, or just people, or just values you see in debates that could be driven into why Bakugo thinks away. Like, as I said, he wanted Todoroki to not hold back against him because that way he not only wins, but he feels like it actually was earned. He valued that But when he wins, but Todoroki was holding back, he doesn't feel like he wins because you could easily speculate that he only won because Todoroki didn't go all out. Like there's still that possibility in the air, and I think that's what makes Bakugo good, especially because his ideologies reflect a lot on the actual toxic side of superhero type of fandom, where people want to talk about the fights. Like I love 1v1s. Kakashi is all about 1v1s on a lot of his stuff, but they're
because 1v1s are easier than 2v2s, 3v3s.
Yeah, but like, and the point being is like there are a lot of toxic aspects of that fandom who lose sight of what the actual point of the story is, which isn't about the fighting. Like the fighting has action, but who beats who is not something writers care about in superheroes. And I think that's where Bakugo comes in, and he loses sight of completely what the conventional idea of being a superhero is, because he's all about beating the shit out of everybody. And that's like that. I think it does a good job. Like I've already told Kakashi, I think he's a better reflection of toxic fandom than Superboy Prime, even though Kakashi disagrees with me.
I love Superboy Prime. He's a great character.
Superboy Prime. He kicked Crypto.
Okay, yeah, but Crypto pulled up on him. Like that's not his fault.
So what?
Bro, the dog sank his teeth into his shoulder. What else was he gonna do?
He was attacking his owner.
His owner was Connor Kent, who attacked him first. We're not gonna go into this again.
No,
bro.
that.
Yo, go into it when it isn't almost 11 o'clock at night for me.
Yeah, that's true.
I am gonna dip. I wish you guys the best of luck.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, it was good. This podcast was interesting. Hope to see you guys next week.